to South Asia Today, a show that provides you the glimpses of South Asia. I'm your host Shivangi Mishra. Let's begin with the headlines first. India provides 200 vehicles to Nepal for general elections. Awami Action Committee staged protest against various issues in illegally occupied Gilgit-Baltistan. And Hindu women in India celebrate Chhath by fasting. Let's begin the show. The horrific revelation from Pakistan a few days back, where scores of human corpses were found rotting on a hospital roof, has exposed the brute nexus of Pakistan military and the civilian government. Locals from different parts of the country have accused that they were the same people who disappeared in past few years. In a knee-jerk reaction, the government might have ordered an inquiry into the issue. The key concerns of the human rights activists and other observers remain. What if thousands others who were picked without reason have met the same fate?
Over 200 rotting human corpses on a hospital roof. The graphic imagery of scores of unidentified human bodies lying exposed on the roof of a hospital morgue in Multan, in Pakistan's Punjab province, has shaken the conscience of people world over. The Pakistani government has failed to provide a satisfactory response as to who these people were and how their bodies have been left to decompose without dignity. An investigation was ordered as soon as these images became viral on social media. Pakistan has a dubious history of failing to locate activists and dissidents who had mysteriously disappeared from the Balochistan province in the last 2 decades. Some believe these bodies lying on the roof could be the same people who had disappeared, lost forever to the tactics of the Pakistani spy agency, the ISI.
Activists are believing that those persons who are disappeared from Balochistan, from Sindh, or from KP, Pakhtunkhwa, they all were taken to Multan, the first place where they are being tortured or kept for in the incommunicado was that Multan. So they were there. This is the story what I know from the statements of these disappeared persons who were recovered.
Tariq Saman Gujar, the Chief Minister of Punjab's advisor, visited the scene after receiving information from a source regarding the decomposing bodies on the mortuary's roof. The incident has spurred a discussion on the country's growing number of missing persons cases, including those involving students, political activists, and other intellectuals from the provinces of Balochistan, Sindh, and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. In Pakistan, inter-services intelligence, the army, and military intelligence are routinely accused of being involved in kidnapping and torturing members of civil society, forced disappearances, and extrajudicial executions. The Commission of Inquiry on Enforced Disappearances in Pakistan has received 8,463 complaints regarding enforced disappearances since March of 2011. The commission was created by the government in March of 2011. However, the Islamabad High Court recently noted that it had failed to give victims justice. Only 1/3 of the incidents reported to the commission were tracked, and little efforts were made to punish officials responsible for failing to follow orders to produce those wrongfully detained. Last year, Amnesty International, the United Kingdom-based rights group, released Living Ghosts, a document about the effect of such illegal abductions on the families of those who go missing. The country's military and its spy agencies remain beyond the reach of Pakistan's criminal justice system. Human rights observers now demand stricter international sanctions on Pakistan for regularly violating human rights.
Pakistani army is behind the abduction of the Baloch people and dumping the dead bodies of Baloch people in such way. Earlier we have received dead bodies they used to throw at deserts, hanging them at trees. So that was an act of the Pakistani army to terror the whole society.
Families of those missing in Pakistan's main cities have been demonstrating to demand justice and to demand the prompt return of their loved ones. Non-governmental organizations have also been keeping records of persons who have gone missing, been slain extrajudicially, and been freed after being detained. However, despite efforts of such organizations and families, instances of forced disappearances are now commonplace in Pakistan, where law enforcement officials continually silence critics. The United Nations have said that forced disappearances have frequently been employed as a tactic to sow fear throughout society. This behavior not only leaves the immediate relatives of the missing anxious and terrified, but it also impacts communities and larger society as a whole. The discovery of the remains in Multan have shocked people the world over. Eyes are on Pakistan and their continued human rights abuses. However, it remains to be seen whether Pakistan will ever give in to global pressure and protect the human rights of its common citizens.
Moving on. India and Nepal share unique bilateral ties. Both the countries enjoy multifaceted and multi-sectoral development partnership that is reflective of the closeness of the people. Recently, the government of India provided a total of 200 vehicles to the Himalayan nation that would be utilized at the time of general elections slated for 20th of this month. Have a look. On request of Nepal, the government of India on Tuesday handed over a total of 200 vehicles that would be utilized at a time of general elections slated for 20th of this month. The Indian ambassador to Nepal, Naveen Srivastav, handed over vehicles to Minister of Finance, Janardhan Sharma, as a gift from India for logistical support to various Nepali institutions for conduct of elections.
नेपाल सरकारको आग्रहमा भारत सरकारले हामीलाई 200 गाडी उपहार स्वरूप उपलब्ध गराएको छ। यसको लागि म नेपाल सरकारको तर्फबाट महामहिम राजदूत मार्फत भारत सरकारलाई हार्दिक धन्यवाद व्यक्त गर्न चाहन्छु, खुसी व्यक्त गर्न चाहन्छु। यी गाडीहरूलाई निर्वाचन परियोजनाका लागि सुरक्षा निकायहरू, निर्वाचन आयोग लगायतले उपयोग गर्ने गरी हामीले अनुरोध गरेका थियौँ। हाम्रो अनुरोधलाई स्वीकार गरेर यसलाई छिटो छरितो उपलब्ध गराउनमा महत्त्वपूर्ण भूमिका खेल्नुभएकोमा महामहिम राजदूतज्यूलाई पनि म हार्दिक आभार व्यक्त गर्न चाहन्छु।
Out of 200 vehicles, 120 will be utilized by security forces and 80 vehicles by the Election Commission of Nepal. The government of India has been extending support in the form of vehicles as per the request of the government of Nepal in previous years as well for the utilization by the Election Commission as well as the security forces of Nepal. More than 2,400 vehicles have been gifted to Nepali institutions to support during elections, including approx 2,000 vehicles to Nepali police and armed police forces and approx 400 vehicles to Nepali Army and Election Commission. These vehicles would be useful in further augmenting the logistical arrangements of various institutions of Nepal across the country for conducting the polls.
भारत सरकार और भारत कई वर्षों से इलेक्शंस के लिए व्हीकल्स देता रहा है। आज तक करीबन हम 2400 व्हीकल्स दे चुके हैं नेपाल सरकार को, जिसमें से करीब 2000 नेपाली सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस के लिए हैं और 400 इलेक्शन कमीशन के लिए गए हैं। और हमारी उम्मीद यही रहेगी कि आगे वाले चुनाव सक्सेसफुली होल्ड हो सकेंगे, एफिशिएंटली होंगे और ये जो हमारे भारत और नेपाल की जो सौहार्दपूर्ण और मैत्रीपूर्ण रिश्ते हैं, आज का व्हीकल हैंडओवर सेरेमनी भी उसी का एक अंग है, उसी को रिफ्लेक्ट करता है।
India and Nepal enjoy multifaceted and multi-sectoral development partnership that is reflective of the closeness of the people of both countries. Extending these logistical provisions reflects the continued support of the Government of India for contributing to the development of people-to-people links. Now let's take a look at a few happenings in Asia in a segment called Asia Watch.
At a large mall on Malaysia's Penang Island, curious shoppers stop in front of a makeshift stall, watching as black, shadowy figures move and dance across a white screen. It is the performance of vernaculate or shadow puppetry, a theatrical art form once popular across Southeast Asia, particularly Malaysia and Indonesia. Unlike traditional shadow puppetry, which includes meticulous efforts to craft puppet figurines out of buffalo skin and lengthy rehearsals among dozens of artists, this modern animatronic show uses 3D printed characters controlled by robotics, with their movements choreographed and programmed by one person. The love for shadow puppets' ability to tell stories of ordinary people through dialogue, music and visuals has prompted the 33-year-old to start the project in July 2021 to save the heritage with a government grant of Malaysian 20,000 ringgit. In the face of fading heritage due to film, television and social media, the multimedia lecturer said he hoped robotic technology can help shadow puppets to be seen more often, whenever and wherever. The number of active shadow puppet troupes in Malaysia have dwindled to around 8 following a ban on shadow puppetry in the 1990s in its home state of Kelantan. This glossy and beautiful tableware is made up of mirai wood or future wood. It is a mixture of biodegradable plastic and water wood that is used in making baseball bats. This project has been jointly developed and executed by the Tokyo Metropolitan Government and a local company. Tokyo Metropolitan Industrial Technology Research Institute is supporting the private sector's technological advancements. By conducting tests, research, dissemination and technical support related to industrial technology, the institute aims at improving lives. To organize the biodegradable plastic project, it made public recruiting easier. Ryoka Sangyo was nominated as a partner. It is a company that develops products for plastic food containers and medical equipment, and it has high-quality processing technology. Ryoka Sangyo was a pure plastic manufacturer. In this project, Ryoka Sangyo tried to mix two materials, biodegradable plastic and natural wood. As a result, the wood material rate rose to 51% and the plant-derived rate is 73%. It is admired as a successful completion overcoming the difficulty of technology. Mirai wood or future wood products can be manufactured by an existing plastic molding facility. It is available to mass produce by mold, but it is defined wooden product. There are many kinds of tableware containers. Tableware sets of a plate, cup, chopsticks and spoon are very suitable for camping leisure. The traditional Japanese crafts, lacquerware and tableware decorated by traditional methods have a beautiful and delicate appearance. Administrative leadership and the private sector's cutting-edge technology help in realizing real sustainable development goals in society. As guests' faces are being painted with different motifs ahead of a Halloween party in a Baghdad cafe, they are turning into skeletons, vampires and other mischievous creatures for the night. Ahmad Mohi, a 28-year-old man from Baghdad, said he was introduced to Halloween through movies and TV series and that it offered a nice opportunity to break his daily routine. In the cafe decorated with pumpkins and balloons, people danced to the tunes of a live band, taking selfies with scary faces lit from below by purple light. Motorbike giant Yamaha Motors conducted a test flight of its first aeroplane at Fujikawa Gliding Field in Shizuoka Prefecture. This test flight was undertaken with the cooperation of Shinmeva Industries. Shinmeva manufactured the airplane and Yamaha Motor provided the 499cc engine. The engine that Yamaha Motors used on this airplane was modified according to the needs of the airplane. Yamaha Motor has established itself as a motorbike giant, but its challenge spirit is expanding to 4 vehicles: a car, an unmanned helicopter, a drone, and an airplane. This project began with discussions between Yamaha Motor, which is always thinking of new ways to utilize its engines, and Shinmeva Industry, which owns an airplane for research and development. Yamaha Motor had a difficult time with endurance testing to match an existing engine for an airplane. Yamaha Motors is one of the most famous and technologically advanced technology firms that has made its mark all over the world. The United States and South Korea began one of their largest combined military air drills with hundreds of warplanes from both sides staging mock attacks 24 hours a day for the better part of a week. The operation, called Vigilant Storm, will run until November 4 and feature about 240 warplanes, including variants of the F-35 stealth fighter from both the US and South Korea, conducting about 1,600 sorties. Washington and Seoul believe Pyongyang may be about to resume testing of nuclear bombs for the first time since 2017 and have embraced a strategy of deterring Pyongyang through major military drills that some current and former officials say may exacerbate tensions. North Korea demanded that the US and South Korea stop the joint drills, calling them a provocation that may draw more powerful follow-up measures from Pyongyang.
While governments all over the world invest in the growth and development of their citizens, the administration in the illegally occupied Gilgit-Baltistan does not make a hint of an effort to fulfill its citizens' most basic needs. Recently, an anti-government protest was staged by the Awami Action Committee, in which it demanded immediate resolution of several local concerns, including inflation, taxes, wheat subsidies, electricity bills, among others. We bring you the story.
People in the illegally occupied Gilgit-Baltistan have been living as second-class citizens in their own homes for more than 7 decades. Reason: Pakistan and its stooges, who not only misgovern the region, but also see to it that its citizens are not accorded even the minimal standards of dignity. The residents have gotten furious as a result of the decades-long persecution, and they are now fighting for their rights on the streets virtually every day. Recently, people turned up in large numbers to call out government's hypocrisy and incompetence after the local political and social organization Awami Action Committee called for a demonstration. They said that the policies being formulated were primarily anti-people and had the only purpose of further repressing the already marginalized people of the area.
हमारे इशूज़ हैं, सब्सिडीज़ है, बिजली का बिल है, हमारा वो है टैक्सेस का मसला है, रेवेन्यू वाला है और हमारे खालिसे सरकार और हमारे मादनियात का है। सब्सिडी का तो कोई मुज़ाकराती टीम नहीं है, बल्कि उसमें यहाँ कटौती हो गई है और नाकिस है, गंदम है, दूसरे का रेट बढ़ना है, उनके इनके हाथ में है। यहाँ मुकामी जो है, यहाँ लोकल गवर्नमेंट के हाथ में, वो तो ये अभी भी कर सकते हैं, थोड़ी देर के बाद भी कर सकते हैं। कल उसमें पेशरफ्त हुई थी और दूसरे जो इशूज़ हैं वो डायलॉग के हैं, वो असेंबली के इशूज़ हैं, उस पर भी कोई टाइम लगेगा।
The residents' top demand is the subsidy for wheat. Numerous demonstrations against the reduction in wheat subsidies have been held recently, but the authorities have paid no heed to the local struggle. Another significant challenge that the people are dealing with is the soaring price of electricity. Locals demand that the tariffs should be reduced. Also, the Revenue Act is still being aggressively resisted. According to protesters, the legislation has added extra taxes to 135 different commodities. These levies are adding insult to injury for people of Gilgit-Baltistan, who are already suffering as a result of the electricity tariff hike.
यहाँ पे हम 5 मुतालबात लेके आए हैं जो बुनियादी इंसानी हुकूक से मुतालिक हैं। पहला गंदम सब्सिडी के हवाले से है। हमारा मुतालबा है कि गंदम का साबिक़ा रेट बरकरार रखा जाए और उसके साथ साथ गंदम की मकदार पूरी करके आवाम तक जो है मुकम्मल जो जिस तरह साबिक़ा दौर में पहुँचाया जाता था सब्सिडी रेट पर 40 kg का थैला जो है आवाम तक पहुँचाया जाए। उसके साथ साथ बिजली का टैरिफ जो है वो बढ़ाया जा रहा है। हमारा मुतालबा है कि बिजली का टैरिफ जो है साबिक़ा बरकरार रखा जाए। नए इजाफे को हम नामंजूर करते हैं। उसके रेवेन्यू एक्ट को हम मुकम्मल मुस्तरद करते हैं। उसके ख़िलाफ़ आज हम एहतजाज में हैं। इसके साथ साथ लीज़ जो गैर मकामी अफराद को मकामी लोगों के को एतमाद में लिए बगैर दिया जा रहा है बल्कि नवाजा जा रहा है, हम उसके ख़िलाफ़ यहाँ पर एहतजाज में हैं।
The people of illegally occupied Gilgit-Baltistan have once again spoken out against the stepmotherly treatment they have been accorded by the government. They place the blame on the ineffective and incompetent regional leaders who only care about serving their masters in Islamabad and have no interest in acting in the region's best interests.
Moving on. Chhath Puja is an ancient Hindu festival celebrated predominantly in the India's eastern states of Bihar, Jharkhand and West Bengal. Dedicated to the solar deity Surya, women show gratitude and worship the sun god for 4 days and pray for the well-being of their children and spouse. Let's take a look at this year's festivities.
Observed on Kartik Shukla Shashti, Chhath Puja traces its origin to prehistoric Vedic times and has now got a special significance as a folk festival. Though dedicated to the sun god, devotees also worship his younger sister Chhati Maiya, commonly known as goddess Usha, during the 4-day festival. It holds immense significance for married women who observe fast, present religious offerings to the sun god, and maintain utmost cleanliness throughout the occasion. The rituals and traditions of the festival are very hard as the devotees had to fast for 36 hours without a single bite of food or a drop of water. On the first day, also known as Nahai Khai, devotees or vratis take a bath, particularly in the river Ganga, and bring the holy water of the river to make prasad at home.
आप कहीं बाहर जाएं और पूछें हम बिहारी हैं तो सबसे पहले लोग पूछते हैं छठ और ठीक हुआ। तो कितना महत्व है छठ पर्व का तो आप जानते हैं, बिहार की आइडेंटिटी है ये, आप कह सकते हैं। इस पर्व जो है इसका और सूर्य भास्कर की सूर्य देवता की पूजा होती है इस दिन, और हम लोग सब लोग इसको पिछले कई सालों से कर रहे हैं। इसमें तो निर्जला व्रत होता है अभी, और आज सुबह से उठ करके हम लोगों ने ये प्रसाद बनाया है। यहाँ हमारे घर में दोस्ती रोटी और खीर बनती है उसका, और एक चावल के आटे का जो बनता है वो बना है।
On the second day, also known as Kharna, vratis make offerings that comprise kheer, puris, chapatis and bananas, besides offering fast for the whole day. The toughest is the third day of Chhath, when devotees, mostly women, observe a rigid fast where they neither consume water nor food. In the evening, they go to the bank of the river or pond, carrying along with them dori, a basket made up of bamboo sticks, in which they keep the offerings that comprise of thekwa, puri, coconut, banana and other seasonal fruits. Vinaya is the final day of the holy festival, on which devotees gather at the bank of the river early in the morning to offer morning offerings to the rising sun, following which they break their fast.
बिहार में बहुत ज़्यादा महत्वपूर्ण है, और इस पर्व की एक ख़ास बात है कि इसमें कोई मंत्र और कोई पंडित नहीं इन्वॉल्व होता है। तो ये पर्व अपनी निष्ठा से, अपने विश्वास से किया जाता है। मेरे लिए तो ये पहली बार है, मैं पहली बार कर रहा हूँ ये पर्व, और काफ़ी खुशी हो रही है।
Chhath is considered one of the most significant and auspicious festivals of northern Bihar and in the parts of neighboring Uttar Pradesh and Jharkhand, in which devotees pray to the rising sun for the well-being and prosperity of their children and spouse. With time, the festival has also gained popularity in metropolitan cities as people from these states migrate in large numbers to make a living.
It's time for me to wrap up today's episode. We will be back next week at the same time. This is Shivangi Mishra signing off on the behalf of the entire production team of South Asia Today. Goodbye and take care.